have made the 2.5-hour bus ride from Blacksburg to Charlottesville. 76 degrees, expecting a record crowd here at Scott Stadium for the 81st meeting all time between Virginia and Virginia Tech. Capacity here is only at 44,000, yet they expect to have better than 50,000 on hand. Frank Beamer in his 13th year, the head coach of Virginia Tech.
Frank Beamer has proved that you can win with defense and special teams. He has not had a lot of offensive stars, although certainly Antonio Freeman would be considered one. They are somebody that does it with defense and special teams. They lead the nation in block punts and non-offensive touchdowns over the last number of years. On the other side, of course, George Welsh, what is astonishing here is that at this academic institution, for 12 years running now, they have had 7 wins or more. The ex-Navy man came over and has done an outstanding job here in Charlottesville.
Virginia Tech has won the toss. They have deferred, and so Virginia will receive. Jimmy Kibble will kick it off for Virginia Tech. Solid in the kicking game and all the special teams. Arlen Harris and Tavon Mason will be deep for Virginia to receive.
Take a look early on and see the field position where Virginia starts. This is the part of the game that Virginia Tech very much wants to win. They want to pin Virginia deep in their territory early on.
A picture-perfect night for college football. One of the great rivalries in the country, and it's underway from Charlottesville. And the kick by Kibble is in the end zone. Tavon Mason recovers there, and that's where Virginia will start 1st and 10 from their own 20. Dan Ellis, the quarterback, he's really come on. He's completed 77% of his passes the last 2 games. The wide receivers, Kevin Coffey is the big play guy, has his career average of 21 yards per reception, he would tell you. And the offensive line, the rock up front is John St. Clair, a second-team All-ACC. 1st and 10 at the Virginia 20-yard line. Thomas Jones is the tailback. Anthony Southern is the fullback. And they send the tight end Billy Baber in motion. Coffey back near side. And first play of the game is what it's expected. Give to Jones. And it's on the first play, he's got the first down and more. Pick up a 14 on the play. Ike Charlton made the stop. Now everyone knows about Corey Moore, but we're hearing more about and from John Engelberger. Tech coaches used to refer to him as silent but violent. Well, he's speaking to the media this year. Linebackers, they say Michael Hawks is the most improved player on this defensive unit. And the leader of the secondary is Anthony Midget. And FYI, he is 5'11". 1st and 10 from the 34-yard line. They start out of the shotgun with Dan Ellis. 4 wide receivers. Ellis will throw. Short pass is complete to Kevin Coffey on the play. Pickup of 7 will bring a 2nd and short. Ike Charlton again on the stop, but that's exactly what they want. 2nd and short yardage.
Coffey is down. He's holding his left knee. This would be very costly. He is their top possession guy. He is the guy that comes up with their big plays. And George Welsh not very happy about seeing his top receiver injured. It has been unending injuries for the Cavaliers this year. A secondary that is completely different from the starting secondary at the beginning of the season. And now Coffey down in pain. Take a look at the end. Watch his left knee. It gets trapped, and as Jamel Smith falls on top of him, you can see the knee right there at an oblique angle. This is why they tell you to move your feet. Don't get your leg planted. Charlton, there's nothing dirty about it, but of course when Jamel Smith comes and twists him, possibility there of an MCL sprain, but it's a moot point for me to speculate. It's obvious that Coffey's in pain. You just can't believe the number of people that he has had hurt, injured, people that have had academic problems. It's been a very difficult year for them, and got to give them a lot of credit for the fact that they're 3-1 at this point, Steve.
Ahmad Hawkins will replace Coffey at the wide receiver position for Virginia. And there's the perfect expression, exactly what you were talking about. And as soon as we have any word on Kevin Coffey's status, we'll certainly pass it along to how he's working the sidelines for that.
The other thing from a subjective standpoint, Steve, is that the crowd was very much into the game. You know, with the big first run, nice completion, looks like they're moving. Have to see if these young people are resilient enough on the Virginia side to keep the tide going their way. Out of the eye, Jones and Sully behind Ellis.
And a give it up the middle. Not much there. Jones picks it up. Ben Taylor on the stop. A loss of 2 on the play.
Jamel Smith, number 46, their inside backer, was in there too. He led the team in tackles last year with 99 and is leading again with 23. You see the nice pipes on number 46. He can run a little bit too. He goes sideline to sideline.
Tech has been so tough for the opponents trying to convert on 3rd down. How about 12%? This is a 3rd and 5 now for Virginia. And see what the Tech defense does today. Out of the shotgun, snap is high. Ellis squeezed out, is fouled by Jones and out of bounds, and that will bring up a 4th down, and Virginia will look to punt it away.
This is what we were talking about, the fact that the momentum just departed from the Cavaliers. 2 plays minus yardage, and of course now Virginia Tech is in command. They are going to frighten these people because everybody is aware of the fact that Virginia Tech, they're overdue to block a kick. They have not blocked one yet this year, and they've been averaging over the last 10 years a block kick every 2 games.
Donnie Scott is in punt formation from the 25, and he gets it away. High spiraling kick is brought down by Ricky Hall at the 25-yard line. A 36-yard punt. And Virginia Tech will go to offense, led by their freshman quarterback, Michael Vick. Remember, he played his first full college game only last week in the win over Clemson. Remember, he was hurt in their opener. The flankers and the ends, Andre Davis, he's the fastest player on the fastest Hokies team ever. And up front, the offensive line, anchored by Keith Short. And he is 6'3", by the way. So they've got a Short on offense, a midget on defense. And we go from there on 1st and 10 from the 26. And a handoff to Shyrone Stick. Their feature back. And he is stopped by Jerton Evans. The defense for Virginia looks like this. Lubomir Stemenich is their top pass rusher among the defensive linemen. The banged up bunch of defense. Clark will start in the middle. The Cavs are without Uberno Isabel. Their leading tackler is back home after the passing away of his mom. And the DBs, they start a couple of redshirt freshmen at the safety position led by Jerton Evans and a couple of picks in the win over BYU. Option, Vick will keep it. Pops over the line into another was Shannon Taylor who put Vick hard down to the turf.
Let me tell you something, though, that looks a lot worse than it is. In the case of Kevin Coffey, he wishes that he had been in the air. In this case, Vick's legs are not planted, and he gets the yardage upfield. This is what Virginia is going to have to stop, and this is what Vick does so well. With his 4-4 speed, cuts to the outside on the option, and right there, Shannon Taylor, who's been playing arguably the best football for any defender on the Cavaliers, drops him on his backside.
3rd and short, 3rd and long 2 from the 34. Stick and Ferguson staying adjacent to Vick. And Vick will throw and completes the fullback. Ferguson, no, he didn't. Dropped the football, incomplete pass. And that'll bring up a 4th down, and we check in with Holly.
Kevin Coffey, the wide receiver for Virginia, is walking on the sidelines. They examined his left knee, but he's fine, and they're going to try to get him back in the game as soon as he shows the trainer that he has full mobility.
All right, Holly, thanks, and that is great news.
Really is. Of course, he's going to have to do something besides walk to prove it.
Jimmy Kibble to punt it away. Arlen Harris deep for Virginia. Harris will field it at the 24. Looks to steal away from a couple of tacklers. Unable to do so. Larry Austin got him for Virginia Tech. Each club has had a possession. We're scoreless early. 1st and 10 from the 27-yard line. 2nd possession for Virginia. They send Ahmad Hawkins in motion. He's replacing for now. And it's Thomas Jones on the carry. And I don't think he got back to the line of scrimmage. Once again, here's Holly.
Just a quick update, guys, on Kevin Coffey. They're putting a brace on his left knee. He said to the trainer, I'm good, and they're going to put him back in the game.
All right, Holly, thank you.
Well, that's pretty courageous. That was a strange angle.
2nd and 12, loss of 2 on the play from the 25. Out of the shotgun, Jones and Southern next to Ellis. It's a pass. It's a run. Ellis will keep it himself. And he picks up about half of it. Ben Taylor on the play on the pickup of 8. And we check in with Reese Davis. carries. Thank you. Keep us posted. They're all big wins for the Irish, right? On 3rd and 4th from the 34, heavy pressure, and Ellis goes down. He's sacked by Chad Beasley.
Beasley is there because the result of Corey Moore coming down on the stunt, and he takes 2 men. Take a look at watch number 56. He's going to come down on the stunt, and he's going to take 2 men. Beasley then comes to the outside. Here comes Beasley from the outside. He's right in the face of the quarterback. He has no place to go. Even when Corey Moore is not making sacks, he's taking double teams and affording opportunities for others.
They'll punt it away from their own 21-yard line with Donnie Scott. Gets it off, and what a punt it is, sending Ricky Hall all the way back to his 18-yard line. Let's see what the coverage will do. Avoids one tackle, avoids another. There's a seam, and he is tripped up by number 4, Jason Small on the play. A 56-yard punt.
Jason Small, if he doesn't make that play, Hall goes the distance. Coming into this game, Hall has a tremendous average on punt returns, nearly 18 yards per return at 17.9. What ends up happening is the distance of the kick, of course, outkicks the coverage. That gives Hall the opportunity to get a running start. Now take a look at the side here. Watch it start to form. Here comes the wall. People get knocked out. Now watch him right here, screen. He battles through the double team right there. And if Small doesn't make that tackle, it's possible that Hall would have gone the distance.
So Small on Hall, and he's right at his average. That was a 17-yard return. So Tech will start 1st and 10 from the 38-yard line. We'll see what they can do with the momentum of that return. On 1st down as the fullback Jarrett Ferguson carried.
I'm not a big fan of that, Steve, and here's why. When you've got a little momentum, when you have the nice kick return, about a 20-yard return, take advantage of it. Go up top. You got things working, you got people on your heels. You hand off to the fullback, he goes up the middle for practically nothing. That gives the momentum back to the dark blue and orange.
Brings up a 2nd and 8 now. Ball just shy of the 30-yard line. Out of the eye, Stitt and Ferguson. Off the play action. The left-handed passer is good. He's got it! Andre Davis, touchdown! 60 yards. Vick to Davis, a perfect strike, and Tech draws first blood.
Tim Spruill was in man-for-man coverage. And Vick, everybody was talking about the fact that he could not deliver the long ball. But he puts it right on the hands of Davis. You said at the top of the show, Steve, for the first time in a very long time, they've got a speedster. That's the Atlantic 10 sprinter, the winner in the 100 meters and the 200 meters. He's got a 10 300 meters. Vick takes advantage of that speed. Spruill just cannot stay with him. Huge play for Tech.
The extra point from Shane Graham is up, and it is good. Michael Vick, it's his first scoring pass of his career. A beauty of a strike to the burner. Andre Davis, 7-0. Thanks to Andre Davis, touchdown catch. Tech a 7-0 lead. However, in this series, the team that has scored first has lost the last 4 matchups. However, prior to that, the team that scored first won 6 in a row.
Well, in visiting with Rick Lance, the defensive coordinator, before the game, he pointed out, he says, we're going to try and make Michael Vick beat us. Well, certainly on that play, Vick won the first of the battles.
Virginia gets the football to Von Mason. Looking to carry, found a seam, and he is out just past the 20-yard line. Sean Whitten got to him on the Tech special team.
One of the things that happened on this particular play was that the protection was outstanding from Michael Vick. Normally not a pocket guy, but you can see right there, he takes his 5-step drop, sits in the pocket, look, plenty of time, nobody in his face, and he's able to air it out. Now, at 6'1", 212 pounds, everybody's always talking about his 4.4 speed in the 40, but nobody said he could throw the ball 60 yards in the air right on the hands of Davis. Great play.
Vick wants to be referred to as a pocket passer. So far, the talent of his legs haven't allowed him to do that. Now, what a perfect scoring strike that was. 1st and 10 from the 21. And here it is to Jones, the workhorse. Carried 35 times a week ago. They're hoping to keep his carries to 20, around 20 this game.
Let me make a prediction for you. Ain't gonna happen. All right. When you got somebody like this and you got a great horse, you got to ride him. That last play is indicative of the things that he's doing well this year. The play was designed to go to the outside. Virginia Tech with their speed were waiting for him. He cuts back against the grain, almost picks up 5.
They'll bring up a 2nd and 6. Jones so far 4 carries for 15 yards. Out of the eye. Ellis on the block to Jones. is just about at the first down marker. 3rd and 1, the 30-yard line.
Big time for play action, Steve.
Ellis will just get it to Jones.
He didn't get it.
Looks like he is short.
Here's the reason I say that. You just got hit in the mouth with a big play, and you've got 3rd and very short. They've got 10 in the box. Their free safety is about at 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage. That would have been a great opportunity to fake to Jones and go up top. As it is now, Virginia Tech gets another 3 and out, and the momentum is definitely Tech's.
Chris Cyrus made that stop, but here is Corey Moore, and that's really the story for Virginia Tech. They play their stars on special teams, and you don't see all over the nation. This is Virginia's 3rd punt already. And Scott gets it away. Ricky Hall signaled for the fair catch. And Tech will start 1st and 10 from their own 31.
You saw his reaction as he wagged his head. He realized, oh, nuts, I had room to run. But instead he made the fair catch, make it safe. And once again, Tech is winning the field position battle, starting here near the 33-yard line. Good field position for their offense. And George Welch has to wonder, what can we do offensively? One thing that they might want to consider is, because Virginia Tech puts 8 or 9 in the box, they might want to spread it out with 3, 4 wide receivers, take some people out of the box, and still run the football.
1st and 10, they call it the 32. Stiff and Ferguson behind Vick. And they give to Sharon Stiff. He only had a knee down on the original hit, but is brought down by Chris Williams. You know, Holly was talking about the crowd and how tough it was for Tech fans to get tickets. Well, every Tech big play, you hear a tremendous roar from this crowd. They found a way to sneak in the house.
Well, there's a definite intensity here. It has kind of a caste system feel to it, kind of a bourgeois proletariat feel. Those proletariats, man, they've got some strong larynx.
So which side is which?
You weren't listening. I just said the proletariats with the strong larynx. Come on, man.
Is that Virginia or Virginia Tech?
Tech, man, come on.
2nd and 9 from the 33.
What about drop?
Yeah, here's Vick. Avoids one tackler and is brought down by another at the 40-yard line. Byron Thweet able to make the stop, playing with a pinched nerve. We're checking with Holly.
Guys, before the game, Michael Vick was warming up on the sidelines here. Some Virginia fans came down and started screaming at him. They said, hey, you're overrated. You couldn't beat Hampton in 4 years, the high school that Ron Curry went to. And Michael Vick was always the underdog to Ron Curry. Vick just looked at him and said, I hear you. He's making a statement here telling the fans, I heard you, and now look what I'm doing to you.
He's looking to do some more to him on 3rd and 1 now from the 40-yard. St. Andre Davis in motion, and they get around to Sharon Stiff. And he is forced out of bounds. Looks like they're going to spot it. Oh, boy.
From this vantage point, it appeared that he got the 1st down. But evidently his toes hit the chalk.
Short, 4th down it'll bring.
Stiff cuts to the outside. Take a look at his right foot. Right there. Good call by the official. Sure enough, the foot did hit the chalk. That's a big break for Virginia as Tech goes 3 and out.
The officiating crew is from the Big East, and we have yet to hear from them so far. That is a good sign. Arlen Harris on the fair catch. So Virginia will take over. 1st and 10 from their own 18. And they will do so, trailing 7-0. 5:32 left here in the 1st quarter. Steve Levy, Todd Christensen, Holly Rowe from Scott Stadium. Sold out Scott Stadium in Charlottesville. Pressure, and again, Ellis is taken down, that time by John Engelberger.
Let's not give too much credit to Corey Moore, but once again, he's the one that is flying from the other side that makes Ellis step up and step into the arms of Engelberger. Engelberger, pretty good player in his own right. A guy who was outstanding in the weight room, and apparently, according to what I hear, runs a 4.55 40. I don't know about that. I'm down for a race, but still, give him credit. He was right in the face of Ellis. They need to reestablish the running game. They can't be put in a situation where Ellis keeps fading back. And now take a look. They have done the 3 wide receiver set, Steve.
And one of those 3 wideouts, Kevin Coffey, back in the game. Let's break this. There was a decoy there as they gave it to Jones, and he was pounded. Michael Hawks put him down.
But that's the right idea. He slipped a little bit. He cut off the wrong foot. That's the right idea. You get those people out of the box, spread out a little bit, give Jones some room. Up to this point, Jones has been trying to play Barry Sanders in the old run and shoot, where he's got to make the first guy miss. He's unblocked. In this situation, he's got an even shot at it.
It's starting to get dangerous for George Welch's team. They really said they don't want to play from behind. The first quarter and a half would be key to get some points, and they're struggling offensively. 3rd and 16 from the 13-yard line. Out of the shotgun. Ellis rolls right with pressure. Into the Virginia bench, and they'll look to punt it away for the 4th time. Pressure by Hawks forced them out of the pocket.
Hawks knocks Ellis down. Here's the thing, they roll right, but he's unable to do it. You take a look at the block kicks in the 90, you see Virginia Tech. Always a threat. And of course, what that does is, even if they don't block the kick, Steve, puts a lot of pressure on the punter, and inevitably he hurries his kicks, and that's how Virginia Tech wins the field position battle.
Ricky Hall is deep. Scott will punt from his own goal line. He gets it away. Hall will run up and take it across midfield. Takes it from Virginia territory and moves in deeper as he is dumped on at the 40-yard line.
No big deal, right? You say to yourself, come on, that wasn't, so what? You know, it wasn't that long of a return. Instead, it's a 36-yard punt, a 10-yard return, a 26-yard net. The result is, here's Virginia Tech in the field position on the other side. You can see the smile by Frank Beamer. He says, that's the right idea. It's interesting what Frank has done up to this point, too, Steve. We've talked about the block kicks, but they've been trying to set up returns, and wisely so. The field position indicates that Virginia Tech is doing the right thing at this point.
I love the attitude. I mean, you should look at special teams plays as another important play in the football game, so why shouldn't your better players be in there?
And you see the field position, big advantage, 10 yards for V-Tech.
Here's Vick. Thought about the option. Now he's hanging around. He looked to throw. Inside the 10-yard line, it's Ricky Hall. And he is stopped at the 7. Pickup of 33 on the play. Tim Spruill on the coverage with Jermaine Lazard.
Again, great pass protection by Virginia Tech. Vick should not have had that much time to throw. The primary man was going to the post. Hall runs the out and up underneath him. Here you're going to see he's going to run the out and up, and he's going to clear out. Now he's got time, plenty of time, and he ends up getting lost in the shuffle. That's a mismatch for Jermaine Lawson, who was looking back in the backfield. The youngster needed to stay with the receiver. He's got to play the man, not watch the ball. Critical mistake for the secondary of the Cavaliers.
First and 10 out from the 7. They give it to Steph. Not much there, and he's thrown back to the 10-yard line. As our first flag of the game flies.
This is where the referee has to jump in and say that's not the case. They're going to call him for a personal foul, but the referee was right there. He needs to overrule it. That was nothing intentional. He didn't hear the whistle. Unless he had a face mask. Okay, that was different. It appeared from my vantage point that when he spiked him, they were going to call a personal foul, but evidently he had a little piece of the face mask. We'll try and get it for you.
Five-yard face mask, defense. The penalty is enforced from the end of the run, half the distance to the goal. Repeat, first down.
That man Shannon Taylor has been playing some tremendous football for Virginia. Here it is right here at the point of attack. Now watch the left arm of number 9. Is it on the face mask? No, it isn't. That's unfortunate. He's got him by the shoulder pad. That's a bad call by the official who couldn't see it. He was blinded by the defensive end. Tough break for the Cavaliers.
Makes it a first and goal from the 4-yard line. Vick will keep it. And did he get into the end zone? No signal yet. Looks like he was stopped short of the goal line.
I tell you what, that was an early whistle. You didn't anticipate a quarterback 212 pounds to be able to run over a linebacker and get it in the end zone. Take a look, listen to see if it's an early whistle. That's definitely a touchdown.
Vick had 3 rushing touchdowns in the opener against James Madison. That was 7 minutes in the first half and he was injured. Did not play again until last week against Clemson. This time, they'll give to Stiff. No question about that. Touchdown, Virginia Tech.
Well, it becomes a moot point, and now certainly the pressure is on the Virginia offense. The Virginia Tech offense up to this point had not exactly been a juggernaut. Who would have anticipated in the first period alone that Virginia Tech would have come up with 14 offensive points? But that's exactly what's happened. The crowd needs to get back into it, and either Ellis or Jones needs to come up with a big play for the Cavaliers.
And that is a field possession touchdown. Field position touchdown for Tech. I mean, they start at the 40-yard line and march their way in. The penalty, of course, helped. The extra point from Shane Graham is up and good. And it's 14-0 in favor of Virginia Tech. The 7th-ranked team in the country.
Well, Shiro Stiff has been kind of the unknown man coming in there, somewhat forgotten. Don't forget that this is a man that's been averaging 135 yards per game. The offensive line for Virginia Tech is dominant. Take a look at the left side. Fullback in bumps out the outside man. I mean, when you come up standing up on a 1-yard run, Steve, that means your offensive line is doing the job.
Tech has used 2 big pass plays. 60 yards to Davis in the touchdown and the 32-yarder to Hall. That set up that second score. As far as Virginia's offense, how about 13 plays, 16 yards?
You know, I really thought that coming in here, you know, the Virginia Tech defense rated #1 in the country, but to be quite candid, the teams that they had played were not that big of a deal. Now coming in and doing what they've done to the Virginia offense up to this point is outstanding. They're the real thing on the defensive side of the ball.
James Madison, Alabama, Birmingham, and Clemson. Rutgers next week. Arlen Harris has the kick, and he brings it out just shy of the 20-yard line. And Virginia looks to get something going offensively.
Once again, you don't want to beat a dead horse, but that's only a 15-yard return on a kickoff inside the 20. It's asking a lot to have a team go 80 yards against this defense, Steve.
There's Coffey. He is back in the game. Was hurt on the first series, the second or third play. Some of the air out of this stadium, but he is back in there on the field looking to make a big play for Virginia. Off the play action, Ellis, the ball is good, and it is brought down by Demetrius Dotson, shy of 40, but good for a first down, 19 yards on the play.
One of the advantages that Virginia does have, and that is that if Virginia Tech is going to have 8 in the box, they're going to have single coverage on the outside. In that case, Ike Charlton could not stay with Dotson on the corner route. Ellis does a nice job of throwing the ball a little short, affording Dotson to see the ball's a little bit short. He's able to come back to the ball and make the catch. It's a good throw by Ellis. Big first down for the Cavaliers.
On first down, they'll try play action again. Here's Ellis, cross the net, complete. It's Dotson again, and he's into Virginia Tech territory. An update on Florida Auburn, and we check in with Reese Davis.
Tell you something about Alabama. We're going to get a chance to see them later on in the season. I'm really looking forward to that, Steve.
It's true. There's Thomas Jones around the end. And he had some distance. We'll see where he stepped out. Looks like the 33-yard line after passes of 19 yards and 15 yards, a run play of 13 yards, and all of a sudden, Virginia's back to being a big play offense.
One of the things every tailback will tell you, arguably his best friend is his fullback. In this case of Jones, it's Anthony Southern. Take a look at the lead block that Jones gets from number 25 to spring him to the outside. Watch number 25. He's going to cut down the defender right there. Right there. Charlton is on the ground, and that enables Jones to get to the outside to get the extra yardage.
Jones, the ball carrier, starting to move the chains, push some people back.
One of the things that you notice that Virginia is doing too, Steve, they're not spending much time in the huddle. They're coming up and they're trying to attack. They don't want to give Virginia Tech the chance to regroup.
Bring up a second down and 5. But what a difference for the Virginia. I just told you, 13 plays, 16 yards. Well, their last 4 plays good for 52 yards. Second and 5 from the 28. Play action to Jones. Quick hitter. And what a catch. Hawkins. He knows it, and so does everybody here at Scott Stadium. Larry Austin made the tackle.
See, as a former receiver, I can tell you the most difficult thing to do is to come back across your body with no momentum. The ball is thrown way behind him, and he's got somebody on his ribs. Boy, that is a terrific catch by Hawkins. And look at that. No glove. got the tape fingers like Timmy Brown. Maybe that works for him, but any way you look at it, that was a great catch.
Making a play for his quarterback, and that'll give the quarterback confidence to go at him again. 1st and 10 now from the 20. Virginia looks like a different team. Breaking forward, one man to beat. He stopped at the 10. Sorensen and Bird made the stops. We haven't mentioned Corey Moore's name in a while. That's probably why Virginia's been able to move down the field.
Well, one of the things that they need to do is run between the tackles so they can't let that speed get to them. They're a little more powerful between the tackles. That's where Virginia's going to make some hay.
The quarter comes to an end. Virginia Tech leading 14-0, but all of a sudden, it's Virginia showing the...
Even though it's part of the game, this is a very inopportune time for the quarter to end for the Cavaliers. They have their momentum, as you pointed out, running all over the field. In this drive alone, they've been able to put up some numbers, way more than they had up to this point. So for whatever reason Virginia Tech stops them here, you could credit that to the fact that the momentum stopper was the end of the quarter.
The yards per snap leading all the first downs. Good run there. He stayed on his feet. Anthony Sutherland, the fullback. On this drive, Virginia had 4 first downs. And they had only 1 first down on their first 4 possessions prior.
Those of you at home who have watched an awful lot of football, let me tell you right now what is extremely difficult. And that is that you've got the first down, but now you've got 1st and goal at the 9. 9 yards, these are the most difficult 9 yards, and because it's a 1st and goal, there is no first down. The interesting the play calling of Gary Tranquil here at this point.
2 wide receivers out to the left. They send a man in motion to Ron Mason. Now line him up against some tight end. Avoids 1 tackler and is brought down just about the 5-yard line. And bring up a 2nd down.
Gary Tranquil now is put in a position to say, are we going to go 4 times? He's a little bit animated right there. This would be a great opportunity for play action because if they run here and don't get it, everybody in the park knows that they've got to throw on 3rd down. So this is a great opportunity for Gary Tranquil to fool somebody with a little misdirection, little play action, maybe to the tight end or a slant to the wide receiver.
And Coffey could be that wide receiver. He is in the football game. And they send him in motion. Ellis will get it to Jones. And he might have gotten a yard on the play. And that'll put up the 3rd down in what would appear to be the passing situation.
Well, this is what I'm talking about. And, of course, you really can't fault Gary Tranquil because Jones has been a guy who's had over 370 yards in the last 2 games, 210 alone last week against BYU. But you've got to know, coming into this game, Virginia Tech is giving up only 52 yards rushing per game. And so you got to try something different. And Bud Foster, the defensive coordinator for Virginia Tech, having done an outstanding job this year, hoping that his Chargers can hold him here.
They take the turning point in the game coming to 13 minutes left in the first half. We might look back at this play. Here's Ellis throw. And eventually the whistle blew before the snap as Ellis was sent flying down to the turf.
Well, somebody moved. Now, as strange as this sounds, and I know it does sound goofy, with the passing game the way it is right now, this is a great I wouldn't say a great opportunity. You don't want to lose 5 yards, but it lengthens the field. It gives the quarterback and receivers a little more yardage to work with.
The offense. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot remains 3rd down.
One of the plays that they've been effective with is the slant pattern. What they're trying to do on the left side with the 2 wide receivers is to get a pick play and get the man to the outside. What they could do is go with a 3 wide receiver set, put 2 to the one side, isolate Coffey on the other side, and throw either an up or a slant.
13-10, clock is moving in the first half. Tech up 14-0. Here's 3rd and goal now on the 9-yard line. 2 wide receivers, 2 backs behind Ellis. To throw. Scrambling away from pressure. The 5 going to the goal line and he's short. Stopped at the 1-yard line. Jamel Smith made the stop. His 3rd of the half. Big bring up a 4th down.
One of the big decisions here for George Welsh. He says that they're going to have to do something. They're going to have to take some chances to win, and that's what they're doing. They're going to go for it here on that 4th down, and I think this is a good decision. Even if you don't get it, that forces Virginia Tech to go 99 yards. I think this is the right decision to go for it.
An offense that had done absolutely nothing prior to this possession has them on the goal line. 4th and 1 from the 1.
Quick count, hold a quick count.
High formation. Ellis, play action. Quick count. Touchdown! It's Billy Becker, the tight end. And Virginia in the ball game.
That was a gimme. And I tell you what, that says something about George Welch and Gary Tranquil's confidence now in the quarterback, Ellis. You're on the 1 yard line. You've got an All-American running back. Go ahead and punch it in. Instead, they take a little bit of a chance. Play action. Everybody's fooled in the middle. Ellis throws the ball a little bit off. Baber actually comes up with a pretty good catch. Jerry Tranquil, a lot of wisdom on that drive.
Todd Braverman is in for the extra point to make it a 7-point ball game. And Braverman does just that. 14-7.
Let me tell you something. What a thrill it is for a tight end to get in the end zone. I speak from personal experience.
Back to rocking and rolling here in Charlottesville with Virginia on the scoreboard in a 14-7 game. What a difference for the Cavalier offense. Their first 4 possessions, they managed a total of 16 yards. In their last 11 plays in that last possession, 80 yards. Ellis with 4 of 4 for 44 yards, and the score to Billy Baber, the tight end. David Green kicks it away for Virginia. Back for it in his end zone. First and 10 to the 20-yard line now. Play action. Vick low to his left. The lefty passer throws, and it is complete. Browning Wynn, the tight end, makes the catch. Pick up a 14 on the play. Looked pretty good rolling out and making the throw.
Excellent call by Ricky Bustle. He's over 100 yards passing. And Steve, coming into this game, in the first 3 games of the season, Vick had only thrown for 198 yards. So I think many people are surprised that he's as effective as he has been. 3 for 4 early in the game.
Michael Vick trying to get through his second game. There you see the offensive coordinator has worked so hard with him to get him to this point. He's looked terrific throwing the football. Ricky Bustle, the offensive coordinator. It's Vick keeping it himself this time. And he's out to the 45-yard line. Remember, Vick had 3 touchdowns rushing in the first half of the first game, and then he was injured.
Well, I thought he was really hurt. And it's amazing. It probably tells you what an athlete he is, that he's not hurt worse than what he was. But, you know, you just, here's a guy that's very talented. You say all he needs is experience, and he's hobbling off the field.
Got his first collegiate touchdown pass in this game. This time he'll let somebody else do the work, and it's Andre Kendrick, the second-string running back.
Had that kind of Bart Connor thing working with the somersaults. You notice that? That was interesting, the way he landed. That was tough. But now the offensive line for Virginia Tech is asserting itself. This was a great chance for Virginia. 14-7, just scored a touchdown, had the crowd on their side. Instead, now Virginia Tech is taking the crowd out and starting to drive of their own.
Vick is a redshirt freshman, but he got to travel with the team all of last year, dressed for every single game with no intention of playing, so he has that experience. We were warned this was not his first road trip. He's been on the road before. Cullen Hawkins got the carry that time, not much of a game.
And Steve, you really can't underrate the experience of being around it and seeing the decision-making process, especially if you're a quarterback. So many people think, well, you're 6'4", 220, you run court 6, you can throw 7 yards, that means you can play. That's the least, the ability to make the quick decisions, to not get bothered, to like a quarterback have amnesia if you throw a bad pass. And that's one of the things that Ricky Bustle pointed out, is that this young man has the ability to bounce back. He doesn't dwell on his mistakes.
Bustle gave Vick a written test last year prior to the second game, and Vick bombed it. And Bustle got all over him, and since then he's been acing those tests. Carry to the left side. It's Kendrick again, that time stopped by Tim Spruill. The good hit there, well shy of the first down.
Excellent open field tackle by Spruill, because if he misses this one, there's a lot of distance. Watch, he makes him miss. Now look at Spruill, squares up, is not fooled, puts the helmet right on the thigh and drops it. Now 3rd and about 6. Great tackle by Spruill to set that up, and now more than likely we're going to see Vick throw the ball again, Steve.
Virginia Tech, their defense has been tough against 3rd down conversions. Their offense not getting it done so far here tonight. 0 for 2. Here's their 3rd try. They call it 3rd and 6. Vick will take off, cuts inside. He's got the first down and more. And it looked like he was hit on the ankle again on that play as he's brought down to the 30 by William Clark.
This is something very different. They go out of the shotgun with the option. This isn't something that they're used to. And take a look, they have the three-man front. Now he takes off. Look at the back pedal. He has an opening. And of course, the people in the secondary are downfield with their back turned because they're thinking to themselves, hey, it's out of the shotgun they're going to throw. Instead, Vick able to cut up the field now. Doing an excellent job running, which of course, as we mentioned, is his forte.
How tough is Michael Vick? We asked for a comparison. As you see the numbers for Vick. Versatile, obviously. They said he's Brett Favre tough. That's pretty good comparison right there. Stiff back in the football game, back with the football. And he picks up about 4 on the play.
Interesting theory if you believe that concept of time and how strange it is. Here's what I mean by that. It's not as esoteric as it sounds. Here's Virginia Tech going with their drive. Now it seems like how long ago? It's only been like 2 minutes, but it seems like a long time ago now that Virginia has scored. The crowd is out of the game. Virginia Tech is heading in that direction. And the result is now Virginia is playing on their heels defensively. They need a stop here to stay in the game. Otherwise, Virginia Tech's going to wipe out all of that momentum.
2nd down and 7. 4 wide receivers in the game. For the 26. Here's Vick. Feeling the pressure. Running out of the pocket and throws it complete to the 10-yard line, down to the 5, and knocked out just shy of the goal line. The pass to Chiron Stiff. Shenard Newby finally forced him out at about the 2.
Rick Lance is going to have to reassess what he's doing in terms of the pass rush. Vick is just having way too much time. He's back in the pocket for a good 4 or 5 seconds, and when you get a mobile quarterback that much time, he scrambles out and breaks and contains. He can just dump those passes and let the good players make plays. Vick has got to get some pressure on him, otherwise he's going to continue to kill Virginia throwing the ball.
He's 4 of 5, Todd, for 132 yards. Every decision so far has been the right one here tonight. That decision is to give it to Stiff. No indication, shy of the goal line.
But one of the things that we haven't mentioned here, and we should at this point, Steve, is the fact that with Ubernold Isabel not here, their star middle linebacker, I think that has really changed things for the Virginia defense. Certainly they're not in sync. The offensive line for Virginia Tech has been dominant. Rick Lance, the defensive coordinator for Virginia, a little bit beleaguered at this point, not only with all the injuries, but all the departures and people that are playing in positions that maybe they shouldn't be.
2nd and goal. 2nd and 1 from the 1. Touchdown. It's Chiron Stiff. So Virginia Tech answers back. They respond with a 10-play, 80-yard drive of their own and bump up the advantage to 20-7. For Stiff, his 2nd touchdown run of the game.
Give a lot of credit to the offensive line, Steve. They just pushed the Cavaliers into the end zone. Once again, Stiff, it wasn't like he was stood up at the goal line. He crashes across. Tremendous drive for Virginia Tech. They went 80 yards at a time when it was clear that Virginia had all of the momentum.
Shane Graham puts it through. And once again, the Tech lead is 14 following that efficient 5-minute drive. 7th-ranked Virginia Tech leading number 24 Virginia. 21-7 with the Commonwealth Cup on the line. Set to kick it off. Jimmy Kibble. Put it in the air. Arlen Harris back from his goal line will bring it out. And with a pile of players on top of him, he is dropped at the 21. Alabama, Florida in overtime. Back to Reese Davis for what happened.
That is a huge upset. I mean, to win in the swamp is absolutely huge. You know, Michael Vick has taken a lot of criticism, but coming into this game, he has been fantastic on this last drive, Steve. 2 for 2 for 39 yards passing. He rushed twice for 21 yards, and so out of the 80 yards that they had on that drive, 60 of them were Vick.
Made some poor decisions a week ago. Didn't cost him against Clemson. He was picked off 3 times. But every poor decision, for a redshirt freshman, you can chalk it up to inexperience, especially at the quarterback position. 2nd and 8 from the 24. Here's Ellis. All sorts of time for Ellis now as he looks to run away. Not nearly as effective as Vick. And he is dropped by Jamel Smith.
The last drive when they were successful, they opted to go away from Corey Moore. The reason you didn't hear that name is because of the double teams and the ability of Virginia to stay away from it. Here he is coming upfield. There's the double team with both backs on top of him. This is the last drive, of course, when they scored. You see they run away from number 56 going the other direction. And once again, here's the double team as they're able to throw the ball downfield. So the way to negate Corey Moore, at least Virginia up to this point, is to stay away from it.
3rd down and 7. And they get it off. Play clock was at 1. They did get it off. Ellis avoids Engelberger. Now rolling. Got Moore on him, and look out. And there's Moore. Drops him, and hard down to the turf.
See, this is a poor job by the receivers for Virginia. When you have that much time downfield, you've got to get open. You've got to run to your quarterback. You've got to shake. You've got to do something. Ellis is back here. Now take a look at the receivers and what they do once things break down. Where did they go? Now look at this, 1001. I mean, he's got plenty of time. You've got to run back to your quarterback, find him. Instead, they run into white shirts. You've got to give him the opportunity to get open. They can't do it. Ellis can't get him. The result is another more sack.
3rd sack of the game for Tech. Virginia doesn't have any to this point. Again, Tech so tough. 3rd down defense. Virginia 0 for 6 now on 3rd down. Fair catch by Ricky Hall, and Tech's offense will take over. 1st and 10 from their own 40-yard line. They will do so with a 21-7 lead.
Once again, Virginia Tech in great field position. The average starting position for Virginia Tech has been their own 36, for Virginia 22. That shortens the field for Tech. They're taking advantage of it.
Starting from the 40 on 1st and 10. Give it to Chiron Stiff. And he powers for about 6 yards. Stopped by Jamon Lowson and Chris Williams.
Steve, unlike a lot of head coaches in the United States, Frank Beamer is somebody who is directly involved with special teams. And when I say that, I don't mean he gives lip service to it. I mean, he really is involved with special teams. One time before a game, I remember being out on the field, and he was out there showing what to do when the punt gets blocked or a field goal gets blocked or this particular return or this particular rush. He's very much involved in the special team aspect of it. Hence the reason why the Hokies are so good at it.
You think more head coaches would be involved after seeing the success that Beamer and Tech have had. Here's Vick. Throwing deep. Got a man. And it is caught complete. Andre Davis had to go up and wait for the football, and he brought it down anyway. And he is stopped shy of the goal line. Williams and Spruill were there, but Davis outleaped him.
The second big play for Davis, the speedster, is he's able to run by Tim Spruill. Take a look at the gap that he gives him. It's a good 12 yards. Now watch as he goes to the post. He still beats him to the post. Now what Spruill has to do right here is to jump in front of him. Instead, he goes behind, gives Davis the opportunity to leap up and make the catch. Again, I don't want to talk about cheating, but if you're the defensive back and you know the guy's going to come up with it, at least stick an arm in there and make a collision and get a 15-yard penalty. Don't give him the gift.
1st and goal from the 4. Pitch left to Stiff. Looking for his 3rd touchdown of the game, and he won't get it there. Vick so far has completions of 60 yards, 32 yards, 14 yards, 25 yards, and that 50-yard play. So big play quarterback.
And one of the other things, Steve, not to be redundant, but the time that he has had to throw has just been amazing. He's been able to sit back and bide his time. Take a look here. Even though it's in slow motion, look at this. This is a 5-7-yard drop. He's got plenty of time to air this out. And, of course, Davis makes the great play, but Vick, no one's even close to him. There's no pressure.
Looks like a pocket passer to me on these plays.
Well, this has certainly been a good game for him in terms not only of showing his physical skill and throwing the ball up the field, but this has got to do wonders for his confidence.
Penalty is half the distance to the goal.
We mentioned the 3 interceptions from a week ago, and he said that didn't rattle his confidence at all.
Well, as you pointed out, coming into this game, he hadn't had a touchdown pass in the season, so certainly, you know, as a youngster, a redshirt freshman, you know, contrary to what coaches say, yes, they read the papers and they listen to the radio and they watch the television. I'm sure that he was a little miffed by that, but he was proving them wrong up to this point.
He's averaging 30 yards per completion tonight. Let's get it to Stiff, and there it is, touchdown, and you hear it from the Tech crowd. Chiron Stiff, not a whole lot of yards, but he's got 3 touchdowns already in the first half.
He Short, Matt Lair, and Anthony Lambo just do a great job of pushing people out. Take a look at the attack. Take a look at the lead block in front. Boy, that's just tremendous offensive line play, and a great job by the fullback. As I pointed out before, Steve, when you get that kind of penetration that close to the goal line, your offensive line is doing an outstanding job.
Shane Graham boots it through. Chiron Stiff, the hat trick here in Charlottesville. Chiron Stiff,
yeah, you see it
right there, averaging less than 2 yards per carry. Why is he so happy? That's the column all the way over on the right. How about 3 touchdowns?
Yeah, that's sweet right there. Nothing like getting in the end zone.
That's right. The kick to Arlen Harris goes out of bounds.
Frank Beamer's not going to be very happy about that. We were just talking about special teams play. Now, this certainly at least gives Virginia a bit of an advantage because they'll have great field
Illegal
position.
procedure, kicking team, free kick out of bounds. The receiving team will scrimmage at the 35-yard line, 1st and 10.
Primetime college football tonight for Charlottesville on ESPN2. And Thomas Jones breaks a couple of tackles.
Steve, strange as it may seem, that kick out of bounds starting at the 35-yard line is the best field position Virginia has had all night. It's the first time they've been outside the 27-yard line.
Tech doing such a good job offensively. When does that take Jones out of the game? Now down 28-7.
Well, certainly at this point what Virginia Tech is doing is they don't want to give up a big play. He's not out of the game by a long shot.
Jones so far 14 carries for 63 yards, had 11 on that last play for the first down. And they'll try Jones on the right side this time. And he is at midfield, stopped by Jamel Smith.
What they want to do here, Virginia, is they want to get some kind of points to get some momentum going into the locker room. They definitely don't want to punt the ball if they can help it, and George Welch is a little bit concerned. Look here at midfield and look for Gary Trangle to pick a spot for a gadget play, a reverse, a halfback pass, something of that nature.
Are you thinking deja vu all over again? The Cavs win last year was the worst collapse in Tech history and the greatest comeback in Cavalier history. Oh, slips down under heavy pressure there by Chris Cyrus, and we check in with Reese Davis. Was Cyrus or Monroe? I need you there.
And I'm a little bit happy, I must tell you, I'm a little bit happy for Jimmy DeBose. This has been a tough year for him. Everybody calling for his scalp, some of the problems that he's had off the field. That is an absolutely gigantic win for that program.
Lacey, Coach Malkovich coming up for the break. See the playoff. See the play clock, and they do just get it off. Ellis. Soft pass. They say incomplete now. They will the ball hit the ground. They were looking to go to Arlen Harris.
But Ben Taylor is right there. I'm surprised Virginia Tech isn't calling timeout here, especially the way Michael Vick has been going. This also is a good opportunity for them, 3rd and extremely long, maybe to take a shot at going after the kicker.
They will punt it away from the 41. It is a high punt, bringing Hall all the way down to the 5, and the 20. He's got a sideline and using it to his advantage. And he is forced out there at the 45. And we check in with Holly Rowe.
Well, I'm standing by with the young man that George Welch probably wishes was in uniform, Aaron Brooks, the quarterback from last year's team. You were in almost the same situation, down 29-7 at the half. How did you rally last year?
We had to get the troops together. I thought it was really hard for us to realize that we was 29-7. We wasn't in that type of situation before earlier. But we just had to recognize between each other and just bring each other together. I think everything is possible for this team right here. I definitely believe it's not over right now, but they do have a chance right now.
Now, I know you have a relationship with Michael Vick. You've been a mentor to him, so is your heart split right now?
Kind of, sort of. I mean, my heart is definitely with Virginia, but I wish the best for Mike. So he's doing well right now. I continue for him to do very well, but I got to give all respect to Virginia.
All right, thanks very much, Aaron Brooks.
Holly, thank you. Tech blew a 22-point lead last year against Brooks, who had We showed you in the open 2 big scoring strikes late in the game to put Virginia on top.
You know, when you have the kick returner like this, and you can afford not to have to call timeout, Steve, a 53-yard punt was returned 42 yards. The result was a net of 11 yards. And now with a little over a minute remaining, Virginia Tech at midfield, a great opportunity to put some more points on the board.
That's been the story of this first half, the field position that Tech has had and the ability to take advantage of it. Like Vick changing the play at the line of scrimmage. It's a handoff to Kendrick, and he is stopped short of the 40-yard line, but should be good for the first down.
Michael Vick standing there at midfield, taking a look to see what it is they want to do, and now he's going to go with the hurry-up. Haven't gone with the 2-minute, now he's telling them what they want to do. Showing some poise for the redshirt freshman.
55 seconds and counting, the clock moves. Vick handles a low snap without a problem. Jump in! It's complete to Terrell. And good for another first down.
Virginia Tech calls timeout, and for whatever reason, there was no coverage on Parham.
With the timeout by Tech, we'll step out. Come back and have the 43 seconds, both second, first half. Tech looking to get some more. Already up 21 points. We hit the final 43 seconds of the first half. First and 10. Ball spotted at the 19-yard line. Vick running to his left. Skips through one tackle. And he is stopped inside the 10-yard line and close to another first down.
Steve, with that run, Vick now has 7 carries for 50 yards. He's 6 for 7 in passing for 203 yards. That gives him 14 plays, 253 yards total offense.
Looks like he's limping again, and you wonder if that's the ankle. The ankle, we showed you the injury from the first game, the season opener. We thought he injured his ankle again a week ago, although he said he was fine, and maybe he's just re-aggravated it here.
A little bit of a hop right there. Take a look, falling on top of it. That sweet that falls on top of the ankle, holding it tightly. That can't help. You see him right there. He goes to, ouch.
You mentioned the comparison to Brett Favre in terms of toughness. Imagine we'll see some of that here. 28 seconds left in the first half. 28-7 Virginia Tech. The numbers on Michael Vick from today.
Steve, one of the things that's going to happen when you involve your quarterback in the running game as much as Michael Vick has been involved is that certainly he's going to get hit. He gets out of the pocket like a running back, and he's going to have those collisions. And now you can see he's walking a little bit better. Take a look at some of the hits that he's taken prior to this ball game.
This was the first game against James Madison. He'd rushed for 3 touchdowns and then hurt his ankle there. He missed the next game against Alabama, Birmingham, and last week against Clemson he was hit, and he didn't miss a play, but it looked like he hit that same ankle on the play. He said he was just fine. And right now he's out of the game. Dave Mayer, who played in that Alabama-Birmingham game, is at quarterback here on a 2nd and 1. Handoff to Stiff. Breaks one tackle, and he can't break another. He is lassoed out of bounds, shy of the goal line.
The advantage for Virginia Tech there is going out of bounds. They can save a timeout. But once again, the line play is outstanding. Stiff cuts to the outside, is able to break contain. Look at the blocking at the point of attack. Look at the gap. The safety gets cut down. Stiff in the open field with the can't quite shake Jerton Evans. He's able to drop him, but Virginia Tech's offensive line, boy, oh boy, they have been dominant.
Meyer, quarterback, he is a junior. He got just his 2nd career start against Alabama Birmingham.
That ball, illegal substitution, defense.
Well, one of the problems that you have when you have new people in the secondary, and for that matter, new people at linebacker, really new people all over the place, is you get people coming in and out. There you can see Michael Vick walking. There's no limp. I think he's going to be okay for the second half. Coming into this game, we're talking about Stiff and the team rushing for 252 yards per game, 7th in the nation. Now after watching this offensive line, I know why.
First and goal. Fumble. Loose ball. Who's got it? Talk about having new players in the linebacker position, bringing a new quarterback, and problems on the exchange.
And that's an enormous break for the Cavaliers. If they go in here 35-7, you can pretty much say it's all over, and Frank Beamer knows that. And of course, you can't really use that excuse, Steve, because he'd already taken a snap. But then again, that was a shotgun snap that he had taken. So coming under center, he didn't get a chance because of the Vick injury to take a couple of practice snaps, and it comes back to cost him. Does he pull away a little bit too soon? Take a look. Here's Myers. Ball hits him in the hands. No, that's the quarterback right there. He's got to come up with that. And Michael Vick is a spectator, not very happy about that, as he shrugs his shoulders and says, well, all right. Nuts. Now, don't worry about it. I'll come back. I'll be all right. I got game. And besides that, we're up 21.
Huge break for Virginia. And they'll just move it ahead with Ellis. Get some breathing room. 5 seconds left in the half. And that'll do it. That was the last play of the half. A break for Virginia. How big a break? We'll have to find out in the second half. Back in Charlottesville, Virginia, where the Virginia Tech Hokies lead the Virginia Cavaliers 28-7 at halftime. Welcome back, Steve Levy, alongside Todd Christensen. We'll hear from Holly Rowe in just a little bit. You know, all the Virginia fans are saying, you know, last year it was 29-7. Could the same thing happen? Well, there are a couple of differences, both at the quarterback position. Michael Vick was around, but he obviously didn't play. He had a tremendous first half here tonight.
Really did. It's certainly the Michael Vick show. 252 yards in total offense. I think that everybody was impressed that didn't know about him is his ability to get the ball down the field. Certainly everybody knew about his athleticism, his 4.4 speed, his ability to run. You had pointed out he had run for 3 touchdowns. But to make throws like that, 60 yards in the air to Davis, then he moves to his right as a left-hander, is able to dump off a nice throw to Stick. He's done absolutely everything right here. And once again, he runs, gets the sprained ankle. I guess really the big question, Steve, is going to be whether or not he's going to be able to come back full strength here in the second half.
There is Vick. We'll check with Holly in just a little bit and get the official word. And we would hope to see him here in the second half. 28-7 as we get set to start that second half. Tech will receive the football. David Green to kick it off for Virginia. And the second half of the 81st all-time meeting between Virginia and Virginia Tech. We continue on. Chiron Stith, he's got 3 touchdowns, so running back. Here is a kick returner, and he brings it out to the 43-yard line. David Green finally made the stop, and again, Tech will start with outstanding field position. For more on Vick, downstairs to Holly.
Gentlemen, the good news for Virginia Tech, Michael Vick is fine. They said he gently twisted the ankle, but he's fine. He'll play here in the second half. But the interesting thing is how tough this guy is. They were trying to examine his ankle. The doctors were asking him what was wrong. He said, no, nothing's wrong. I just want to get back in there and play. They had to gently persuade him to let them even take a look at it.
Well, he's the man. Of course, he's the man. I thought that was funny what Holly said, though. Gently sprained his ankle. That's great.
Andre Kendrick got that carry on the give from Vick. First half numbers.
Well, Steve, they don't lie. I mean, completely dominated by Virginia Tech. And, of course, the passing yards, as you can see, standing out. Here's something else. Average per play, 9.5 versus 3.3. Almost triple the yardage for Virginia Tech. They have been outstanding. I think a lot of people are surprised that they were that impressive on the offensive side of the ball.
How about the average start? 17-yard advantage right there for Tech over Virginia in the first half. Vick feels the pressure, was nearly dropped for a big loss, but able to recover. Johnny Shivers eventually brought him down.
Even though he wasn't able to get anything out of the play, what he did do was put them up on a makeable third down. He shows his athleticism there by ducking underneath. And, of course, they know that he's got to preserve himself a little bit. He can't be going every single time all out trying to make plays. That's something he's got to learn as a youngster, and he did right there. He was able to get down and avoid any damage.
Do you believe the body only has X amount of snaps in it?
I do indeed. I believe it is a finite number, Stephen.
And we're counting them. Every single snap Vick has taken. This time I'll give it to Kendrick. And he is brought down shy of midfield as the clock continues to run here in the third quarter. Virginia Tech up 28-7. Maurice Anderson made that stop.
One of the things that they wanted to do is that they were content evidently not to do anything. But Vick is somebody, watch at the end of the play. he's actually going to get hit, but you can see the runner, Kendrick, comes in, does not get the first down. Virginia Tech is content not to make mistakes here and play it a little bit safe.
Tech a rare punt. And Tavon Mason was deep and just let it bounce. Actually takes a bounce in favor of Virginia.
That's going to kill his net average, certainly. Right around.
An 18-yard punt.
Well, this is the chance for Virginia to make some hay. You asked me earlier, Steve, with regards to whether or not Thomas Jones is still involved in the game. He is very much in terms of catching the ball and some draw plays. But clearly the onus for the comeback for Virginia falls on the shoulders of number 17, Dan Ellis.
They'll try Jones around the left side, and he's stiff-armed, and he pushed out by Anthony Midget.
Good play by Midget. He knew that he had the sidelines, didn't have to make the tackle, just shove him outside. Jones has to be a little bit frustrated because the offensive line for Virginia Tech had been dominant, but Virginia has struggled a little bit.
Bring up a second down and 14 on the 29-yard line. Virginia's offense really struggling in the first half. So a lot of the credit going to the Tech defense. Here's Ellis throwing, bit behind his receiver, but Kevin Coffey able to go back to the football and make the grab. And once again, here's Holly.
I talked to George Welch of Virginia just a few moments ago, and he said that he was pleased with how much time Dan Ellis had in the first half to throw. He said guys were open downfield, and for some reason, Dan just wasn't finding them. They talked to him about it at halftime. Looks like it worked. He easily found Kevin Coffey on that one.
Holly, Gary Trankel, the offensive coordinator, said of Ellis, he's got a good nervous system and that he sees things. You might say, hey, could you be more specific? But not really. I mean, things means a lot of different things out there on the football field. Right now he saw a handoff to Jones, tried the right side, and it's good for the first down.
One of the things that Thomas Jones has done extremely well is his vision. That play was designed to go off tackle left. Now watch the cutback and look what he sees. You see the end zone. Here he's supposed to go off tackle right now. Bam. He sees how things develop. Here's the blocking at the point of attack. He knows the hole is here. Charlton is able to make the tackle, but Jones has just done an outstanding job of seeing the holes where they are. Vision is a very necessary prerequisite for a great runner.
On 1st and 10, Ellis will throw out into the flat to Southern. They'll avoid couple tackles and nearly stayed on his feet. Could have had plenty of green in between him and the end zone if he could have broken that last tackle. Jamel Smith finally brought him down. Pick up a 12 on the play.
Something rare for Virginia Tech, and that's poor tackling. Southern, of course, is kind of a tweener between fullback and halfback size. Of course, he started as a tailback. Does a pretty nice job at the point of attack with blocks, but his forte is catching the ball and getting in the open field, and right there, he showed that skill.
Corey Bird nearly had a hand on him and couldn't bring him down. Tech's leading tackler coming in. Off play action, Ellis to throw, feels the pressure, now he is brought down at the 50, sacked by Michael Hawks. 4th sack of the game for that Tech defense.
What happened there is that Hawks is actually in coverage, but instead what he sees is that nobody is on him and no back comes out, because what's happening is that the backs have to stay in to block Corey Moore. As soon as Hawks sees that the backs are in, he takes off and there's nobody in front of him, and with his great speed he's able to get to Ellis.
Pushes him all the way back to midfield. 2nd down, the call at 18. Out of the shotgun, 3 wide receivers. Ellis again, pressure right up the middle, and again it's Hawks. 2 consecutive sacks for the middle linebacker.
Great call by Bud Foster. He decided to come with the house. There's nobody there to block Hawks because Thomas Jones is going to go in a pattern. Right here, Jones is going to go in the pattern. Normally he's in to block. The result is that Hawks is able to come completely untouched. That's not the fault of the guard. The easy answer is to say number 56 in this case. Evan Routson is supposed to pick him up, but he's not able to do it. Hawks is able to come through the middle and Foster. Great call.
5th sack by his defense. 9th time tonight the Tech has thrown a Virginia player for a loss from the line of scrimmage. And now flags on the field.
Well, either way it was going to go against Virginia because they were running out of time. Well, if that goes against Virginia Tech, they caught a break.
Dead ball, encroachment,
wow.
Defense, 5-yard penalty in the previous spot.
You know, it's
remains 3rd down.
Steve, sometimes even the defense has to be aware of the play clock. They were up to the line of scrimmage, and they had no chance to get it off. It was 2-1, and as soon as they flinched and messed around and tried to draw the offsides, or rather the motion, they get the offsides. That's a big break for Virginia, because they should have been another 5 yards the other direction.
Penalty going against the left tackle, Carl Bradley. He was the one flagged on the play. 3rd and 22 from the 45. Ellis, again, good time. On the move. Look to throw, and it is incomplete, they say. He would have been well shy of the first down. Looked like the receiver he was looking for all along slipped down, and that left Ellis all by himself for a while before he went back to him.
You're absolutely right. Dotson is the guy that he was looking for. He runs and slips down, and Ellis gets stuck. Dotson's still able to bounce up and try and come up with a play. But again, the pursuit by Virginia Tech is a little bit too much. Now, interesting point here, Steve. Virginia Tech has not even come close to trying to block a kick, and why? What's the point? They've had tremendous kick returns from Hall. There's no point to try and come and block a punt because they've been doing such a great job on the returns.
And nearly got blocked that time. Very close, Donnie Scott was to having that punt blocked. Instead, it's a great punt that is down at the 1-yard line.
Wayne Ward is the one that lays out and tries to get it, but he's unable to do it. And as a result of all the white shirts being downfield, Virginia's able to cover it.
Virginia Tech, they've had great field position all game, will not heal. They don't. They'll start from their own 2-yard line. And they'll start running it. Chiron Stiff there, and able to give them a little breathing room from their own goal line. Maurice Anderson made the tackle.
This is where the Virginia defense has to be stout. They really need a 3-and-out here, but as we pointed out in the first half, Steve, remember when Virginia scored as 14-7, they had all the momentum. Well, Virginia Tech has proved themselves to be outstanding in terms of road wins. And Rick Lance is hoping right now that his defense can hold up.
9 minutes to play here in quarter number 3. On a 2nd and 5 from the 7-yard line. Vick the handoff to Chiron Stiff. Try on the right side. We'll try Reese Davis. All right, Reese, thanks. Keep us posted. Reese Davis back at our college football studios.
Good-looking throw. This is what we were just talking about, Steve. On 2 plays from their own 2-yard line, they have 2 runs and they get a first down. Virginia just has to start taking some chances defensively, put some people in the box. They're going to have to go man for man on the outside and take their chances.
Tech out of the eye. It's Stiff and Ferguson. And they give it to Stiff. He's got a hole. He's at the 30, splits up the middle, and he is finally brought down at the 50-yard line. Pickup of 36 on the play for Chiron Stiff. He eventually brought down by Chris Williams.
The point is that without Ubrinal Isabel, their normal inside backer, they have really struggled defensively. Watch at the point of attack the blocks, and watch the inside backers. They're just unable to make the play. Look at the back pedal there. And now Stiff cuts to the outside, and people downfield are getting blocked. He's able to get through 3. You can see right there, the safety has already been blocked. That enables Stiff to get an extra 20 yards. That's just great blocking at the point of attack and downfield for the Hokies.
The featured running back coming into this game was Jones, but Stiff has taken it over with 3 touchdowns and breaking that big run. Not much running room there for Andre Kendrick. Stopped by Thweet. We check in with Holly.
Gentlemen, the story I love the most about Chiron Stiff is he tried out for his 9th grade football team. They made the cut list on Friday and posted it, but Stiff had no ride to get to the school and see the cut list. So he showed up for practice Monday. Their first game, he ran for 70 yards on a touchdown, his very first time touching the ball. The coach never told him he was cut from the team, and the next week put him on the varsity.
Stiff doing it here today. That's one coach that was happy Stiff didn't have a car that day. Pass out of the flat to Cullen Hawkins, the fullback. Evans finally forced him out of bounds.
Once again, the downfield blocking. The first guy to touch Hawkins is at least 10 yards downfield. The offensive people, the fullback, the tight end, they're just doing a great job. Hawkins able to turn his shoulders upfield, and the defensive backs for Virginia clearly are weary. You can see it in the body English.
Good look at what you're talking about right there. 7:17 left here in the 3rd. Tech looking to move down the field and eat up some clock in the process. Vick will give it off to Kendrick. And he is brought down. Maybe a pickup of one. William Clark, the middle linebacker, on the tackle.
William Clark is the one that's been beleaguered up to this point. They've been colliding with him, but in fairness to him, he hasn't had that much playing time. And to have to come into a game of this magnitude when you haven't had that many repetitions is tough.
Second and 10 from the 33. Chiron Smith is back into the game, getting a breather after that big gain that brought him to the 50. Off the play action, quick hit to Terrell Parham. And he is brought down by Jermaine Lazan.
Lazan makes a great play because he gets cut at the point of attack and is able to get up from being cut. Watch the right of your screen. Lazan is going to actually be on the ground. There he is on the ground. He gets cut, bounces up, and is able to trip up Parham. Great effort on the part of number 49, Lazan.
3rd and 10. Virginia defense trying to hold. Now they're trying to encourage the crowd to get in this football game and join their effort. 3rd and 10. Vick, the handoff, the quick hitter to the fullback. Ferguson, not much there. And that'll bring up a 4th down situation.
Don't want to take any chances. They can afford the luxury of having Vick sit back there and hand to the fullback. And of course, they've got a great place kicker in Shane Graham. But again, the big issue with this, whether or not they make the kick or not, is Steve, look at the clock. 5.5 minutes. They've just eaten up this 3rd quarter, not giving Virginia much of an opportunity to come back.
A 48-yard field goal attempt. You see Shane Graham so far from this range. He's 1 for 2 on the season. Snap and the place are good. And the kick is also good. Graham knew it immediately. Breaks the seal on the scoring here in the 3rd quarter as Virginia Tech has expanded their lead over Virginia. 31-7 in favor of the Hokies. Back in Charlottesville, Virginia, or if you're hip, it's Seville. Virginia Tech up 31-7. And time now for our Aflac trivia question. Who was the only freshman quarterback to lead his team to a national championship? I'll give you some time to think about it and let you know. The theory being that, hey, Virginia Tech undefeated coming in. A redshirt freshman quarterback in Michael Vick. How far can they go? Very impressive on the road here tonight, up 31-7. Tavon Mason returning the punt, the kickoff rather. And Virginia again will start with field position right around their own 20-yard line. ESPN.com, part of the Go Network, go.com. Thomas Jones, the carrier there. And with the mention of Corso, I can't help but talk about how thrilled they are at Virginia Tech with all the praise they've given to Corey Moore. Called him Superman, the best defensive player he's seen in an awful long time.
Well, I'll settle for LT Jr. because that's what he reminds me of. He hasn't quite done what LT has done, but his number is the same, and he rushes the passer the same. He is somebody that disrupts things, even if he isn't making tackles or showing up in the stat sheet.
Which is really the case tonight.
That's right.
On a 2nd and 12 from the 20. Here's Jones trying the right side. And he is stopped, pickup of maybe 1 on the play.
We made
Ben Taylor the stop.
Steve, we made reference to the hidden yards throughout. Take a look at the net punting. You know, that wasn't a big deal, but of course the average start is a big deal. 12 yards, and of course the sacks and tackles for loss. You know, that's 57 yards versus 4 for Virginia. Those are the sort of things that seem to add up throughout a game. And of course, coming into this game, Virginia Tech had 15 sacks in the first 3 games. They've continued that onslaught. Ellis has been running for his life continually.
From the start, the field position, whether it's the 34, the 22, it changes your play calling, changes the entire complexion of the game. Completion to Ahmad Hawkins, who fumbled the football out of bounds upon being hit by Anthony Midget.
Well, this is what they have to take advantage of, is the man coverage on the outside. And I mentioned the fact early on that, you know, you asked about Thomas Jones being taken out of the game. Certainly at this point they can use him, but they have to get 4 scores here. And so that means that the ball's going to have to get up in the air. So I'm looking for Virginia to go with a little bit 3 and 4 wide packages to see if they can get the ball up the field and throw.
2 wide receivers out to the right of Dan Ellis. On 1st and 10. They send the man in motion, Hawkins, and now a flag on the play.
Josh Lawson moved a little bit too soon.
Dead ball, false start, offense. 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
Once again, in a situation like this, Steve, they just need some points. They need a little confidence to get things going, get the crowd back in the game, get some emotion, because right now the whole situation is flat. Dan Ellis, the last 2 games, Steve, has been outstanding. Coming into this game, the last 2 games, he had a percentage of 76.7 coming in.
To be exact.
Been tough going for him tonight. He's made some good throws, but again, he has been beleaguered over and over again.
9 of 13 to the completion percentages there. As he hands it off to Jones, trying on the left side, and again, not much there. No pickup on the play, and bring up a 2nd and long.
One of the things that you notice about Virginia Tech is their speed. A couple of times now between the tackles, I've noticed that the defensive ends, and in this case, Bird the Rover, comes from the backside to make the tackle. That's how fast they are, because usually your play is not designed for somebody to come from the backside. You're too quick. But in this case, Virginia Tech has speedsters like Moore and Bird on the outside to run down those plays.
Here's Ellis. All sorts of time again. Running for his life. Lofts one in the air. And right into the Virginia Tech bench. Flag on the play.
Could be that offensive linemen are downfield. That's what it was. I think that everybody anticipated that Ellis was going to run, and so they take off downfield. Then at the last minute when he throws, a lineman or two is downfield and they get caught. Give Anthony Midget credit there. A lot of extra time for Ellis, but man for man on the wideout, he's able to stay with it.
Ineligible receiver, downfield, offense. A penalty is declined. Brings up 3rd down.
This isn't the only in-state rivalry going on. Here's Reese Davis. All right, Reese, keep us posted. Thank you.
You know, see, that's interesting. In the top 6, Texas A&M, Florida has already lost, and if for whatever reason Texas Tech were to pull that off, how much farther would Virginia Tech jump in the polls?
Well, look at Tech's schedule, too. This is figured to be their toughest road game of the season. On the 3rd down, they're well short of the 1st down. Billy McMullen on the receiving end of Dan Ellis's pass. Midget on the stop.
And this is what they need to do. With the 3-step drops, come out of the shotgun, spread people out, and throw to the outside. Excellent completion, but they had so far to go. Now they're going to have to punt it here, 4th and a long 4.
Donnie Scott will kick it away. Ricky Hall deep for Virginia Tech. Under 2 minutes left here in quarter number 3. It's high, and it is really short, and bounces out of bounds at about the 34-yard line. A punt of 25 yards. Tech will take over. Look to keep killing the clock as we 17 of the last 29 games between these two clubs decided by 7 points or less. Virginia's got an awful long way to go to make up that as we hit the final minute of quarter number 3. 1st and 10 from the 34-yard line. Vick throwing, tipped ball, and it's knocked down. The answer to our Aflac trivia question. Here's the question again. Who's the only freshman quarterback to lead his team to a national championship? And the answer, please. Jamel Holloway, Oklahoma, at 85.
Interesting sidebar to that. Do you know who the offensive coordinator was under that Barry Switzer coach team?
Jim Donnan?
You're right. That's exactly right.
Head coach of Georgia now.
Well done. Well done.
I'm being prompted. Got teleprompter here in the booth.
No. That's a good one. Well done.
I'm paying attention. Vick calls timeout. You know, Virginia's colors are just plain blue and orange, but Virginia Tech colors,
Chicago maroon and gold.
Chicago maroon. That's nice.
Yeah, like you know what it is.
Soon we get into academical villages very shortly. 2nd and 10 from the 34. And players getting together well after the whistle, but they are separated without a flag. Andre Kendrick on that run. Was this the toughest spot for Tech on their schedule? When you look at it, their two toughest games appear to be at home. As far as the road, I mean, they probably will be favored the rest of the way.
That game at Pittsburgh gave Penn State all they could handle. That's a possibility, but it certainly looks like this team would be capable of running the table.
Give to the left, Kendrick off the option, and Vick really took a pounding on that play.
The thing with regards to that too, Steve, is the point that with Florida losing tonight and Texas A&M behind, those are two teams that are ahead of them in the polls. It's conceivable that if indeed they could run the table, they're very much in the national championship picture.
Kept asking Frank Beamer about, hey, this seventh ranking, this number 7 ranking, the best all time for Virginia Tech, and what it meant. Trying to get a quick punt off here on 4th and 1. They're going all sorts of substitution problems.
That's a great job. That's a great job by Frank Beamer. They take the decision, the situation to where it's 4th and 1. They know that they may go for it, may not go for it. He hustled them onto the field. They should get 5 yards because, you know what, Steve, Virginia had a good 18 players on the field there. But it was whether or not Virginia Tech was set. That's going to be the issue.
Illegal substitution, defense, 5-yard penalty.
Well, that could have been just as easily too many men on the field. I mean, people didn't know what to do. They weren't sure. And Frank Beamer is very pleased with himself. Take a look. Now they hustle onto the field. He tells them, now look at Virginia. There's a little bit indecisiveness. Has kind of a Keystone Cops feel to it. Whoop, 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 whoop.
Illegal substitution.
Just not sure.
That'd be singular. Shouldn't that be plural?
Yeah, exactly. And Frank Beamer is very pleased with himself. That's first down. That's us. As the head special teams guy at Virginia Tech, I'm sure he probably got as much thrill out of that as some of the touchdowns tonight.
Fresh set of downs. 1st and 10 from the 48 off the penalty. Not much there as the Virginia defense came up to stop Cullen Hawkins. Antonio Mayfield leading the charge.
One thing that they've done, Virginia Tech may not be in a shell, as you see George Welch not inclined to smile at this point in the game. They're protecting Michael Vick a little bit, even though he's out there. You can see a little bit. There's not a gimp necessarily, but they want to make sure that he's not going to get hurt. So they're not going to take any real big chances with him rolling out with a big play or having him run any options.
And in this kind of rivalry game, I don't care what the score is, I don't think players are going to sit down on either side. And you would think the Virginia players would continue to go after Vick for as long as he's in the football game. Give off the right side to Kendrick, who is spelling stiff. Jerton Evans, the stop there, and likely the final play of quarter number 3. That will do it. We'll come back with the 4th quarter. If Virginia wants to try one of those comebacks, like the one from last season, they might want to start getting going anytime soon. This game owned by Vick and the Hokies. Set for the start of quarter number 4 from Charlottesville, Virginia. It wasn't supposed to be this way. Blowout city at this point, 31-7 in favor of Mighty Tech. And they've got the football and looking for more. On a 3rd and 4 from the 46. Looks like Vick's ankle again as he went down. And the Virginia defense is fired up.
Well, it appeared that the pulling guard either stepped on it or kicked it. Now he's walking off the field gingerly, and I really think here that the point that you have is a valid one. As we get a chance to take a look at it, watch it get stepped on right there. It gets stepped on just a little bit. And of course, that's not, the offensive lineman, in this case, Keith Short, the center, can't necessarily see his foot. But I think that Frank Beamer really has to consider at this point, Steve, maybe taking him out of the game. Why take chances?
I would think so. Mason is deep for Virginia. He'll let it go, and it will bounce into the end zone for the touchback.
You have to think that with this defense and the kicking game that Virginia Tech has, that they can certainly preserve a 24-point lead at this point. But then again, you also run the risk of taking Vick out of the game and, irreversible momentum. But if I'm Frank Beamer, and this guy is the franchise after all, I'd take my chances and sit him down.
First and 10 from the 20-yard line. Ellis out of the shotgun. We would expect to see him on just about every single snap this quarter. Off the play action, it's a quick pass to the left side for Ahmad Hawkins, and he is stopped short of the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 11 now. Loss of 1 on the play. Here's Ellis. Straight drop and the throw up high, but it is caught. And what a catch by Demetrius Dotson. And there's yards after the catch as well until Ben Taylor finally brought him down. It's a pickup of 26.
Dotson makes a great catch and goes up the ladder, but boy, let's give Ellis some credit. He had people right in his face. He was going to get whacked, and he delivers the ball. It was amazing he was able to get this at all. Take a look. He knows there's a man in his face. Watch right at the end how he delivers the ball. Boy, ouch, ouch. Jamel Smith just nails him. And of course, Dotson is able to climb the ladder and make a terrific catch and get upfield for a much-needed first down.
Dotson, 3 catches, 60 yards. Use a few more of those plays. Here's Jones now. Finds a seam up the middle, and he's got another first down. USC Oregon State going at it. We check in with Reese Davis.
Yeah. No. Oh, dang it. Da, 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 da. Dang it. I'm a Beaver guy.
Jones will try it again. Why not? Successful on the last play. Got half what he needed to get to another first down on that one with the clock moving.
Oregon State 3-0. When does that happen? Do you realize something? They have not had a winning season since 1967 when the great pumpkin DeAndros was the coach. If Erickson can pull it off there, Dennis Erickson, have a winning season, he will be the absolute toast of Corvallis. Oh, that's right. That's west of the Mississippi. Sorry to bother you. Okay.
Lots of surprises in all of football, really. Look at the NFL and some of the college games as well. Here's Jones. Trying the left side. He is forced out of bounds by Nick Sorensen. There is a flag on the play. Now this whole west of the Mississippi, take me through that again?
No, I'm just messing with it. There's holding downfield by one of the wide receivers, but here's the thing with regards to Jones that I'm impressed with. We talk a lot about student athletes. Sometimes people have talked about that's oxymoronic, not unlike, say, jumbo shrimp or military intelligence. But the reality is that man right there graduated with a degree in psychology in 3 years. And as a running back for the Virginia Cavaliers, a running back now, he has not missed a single practice. Now, that's one thing if you say a kicker, or somebody that doesn't make contact. Certainly the most dangerous position on the field, the one that takes the most collisions, is the running back position. And this is a stalwart young man, a great example.
Offense, 10 yards, then a run. Repeat, 2nd down.
And of course, Tiki Barber, now in the NFL with the Giants, when he broke the record at Virginia, the former record, I believe, of either Kirby or Vigorito, he said there's a freshman on the team that's going to break all my records, and that was number 6, Thomas Jones, and he's done just that.
We were looking to nitpick on Jones, talking to the coaching staff. Give us something negative, something he's got to work on.
That's right, he's got a parking ticket, right?
He doesn't even have that.
No.
The only thing we heard was that he is somewhat impatient, not off the football field, but on the field. And we haven't seen much of that here. Trying to force a hole from time to time. Throw from Ellis, knocked out of bounds. And you could make that same point. Everything you just said about Jones, the Virginia Tech people said about their superstar on defense more.
Well, they're going to get some yardage back. And, yeah, I mean, it's great for young people to have these people to look up to, in this day and age where you can't seem to turn the sports page without seeing some sort of problem.
Defense, line up in the neutral zone.
Penalties starting to plague this fourth quarter.
The other thing that I like about Corey Moore, last year he's the Big East Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, okay? 6 feet tall, 212 pounds playing defensive end. Now, for you mothers out there that are saying, my son, he's too small to play, Corey Moore should be an example. That if you've got heart, you've got some determination, some of the intangibles, you can play this game and play it well.
You see those Mike Singletary eyes he's got working? That pass is complete. Demetrius Dotson on the reception. Very close to another first down.
Dan Ellis delivering the goods, and Dotson coming up with another nice catch. Short in route. Here comes Corey Moore in the pass rush. Gets chipped by one man trying to come through right in the face of Ellis. See, one thing you don't take into account, 6 feet tall. Now he's 225 pounds. He's going against 300-pounders every single week. Every single week he's battling people that outweigh him by 70, 80 pounds. just amazing.
There is talk that in the future at the next level to go to the linebacker position, but all the Tech coaches we talked to said that'd be a mistake. You take him out of the stance where he gets that first great burst of speed, and he's obviously, when he's lined up on the line, much closer to the football.
Well, see, now that's interesting because I'd heard he's going to be a holder for kicks. So we're just, yeah. Well, here what you can do with him.
They really take away his speed.
No. He could play outside backer, but then you play him the way they play Chad Brown in Seattle. Put him all over the field, cause problems. And, of course, here's a guy that on passing downs can get to the outside. You just can't play him at defensive end at the next level because they'll beat him up. See, here they're able to do it because of the fact that they move him all over and he doesn't play a true defensive end to take on the run. Obviously, at the professional level, that's what he'd have to do. 410 bench press, I was told. And I also, now, you know what? I don't know about this now. Come on now. You know, what's the 40 time? Come on. 438. Now, 438, man, that's like cat speed. You tell me a guy.
What did you run?
Illegal substitution. Defense. 5 yards from the previous spot remains first down.
Seeing a lot of that. Well, you know what? The thing that's most impressive about him, whether or not he does it in pads. He's fast in pads.
Okay, don't avoid the issue. What did you run it in?
What?
In your prime, of course.
In my prime? Oh, shoot, last week.
4.38,
No. Fastest I was a 4:55 guy on a really, really good day.
It's not bad. I mean, you know, that's what you're shooting for.
I was fast in the pads. I could run routes okay.
1st and 5. Pretty good set of hands, too, if I recall. Jones on the carry to the left side. We check in with Holly, always quick on her feet.
Hey, guys, I wanted to re-emphasize what you're talking about with Corey Moore. When he came into Virginia Tech, he was backing up John Engelberger, and he was not as ferocious as he is now. Finally, John Engelberger took him aside and said, look, if you play relentless like you're doing against me in practice, you're going to be an incredible guy. That gave him newfound confidence, and now the product is what you see on the field.
Moore had a big game last week, had a 32-yard fumble return for a touchdown against Clemson. He even forced the fumble himself. That pass knocked down, incomplete. Ellis was looking for Dotson again.
Good coverage on the part of Midget. That's a difficult situation for the defensive back on the hook pattern because usually he has to go through the body of the receiver. In this case, Midget able to come to the other side, bat the ball down. Good coverage. Difficult to play corner for Virginia Tech because they do opt for 8 in the box. They want to stop the running game. So many times the cornerbacks for Virginia Tech are on an island by themselves. And so guys like Charlton and Midget, they have to have some amnesia, but they have to have some courage too. And Midget's got it.
3rd and 5 from the 27-yard line. Here's Ellis. Didn't feel the pressure that time, and he is brought down. Sacked by Engelberger on the play. He got some help from some of his teammates. The 6th sack of the game by Virginia Tech.
And coming into this game, they had 15 sacks. They've been averaging 5 a game. But now 4th and 10 with the clock running a little more than 10 minutes. Certainly, Virginia's going to have to go for it here, Steve.
Made the point a couple of weeks ago that tickets for the Wake Forest game were a little less expensive. The Virginia Tech game, the most expensive, $30 a pop. The highlight of the home season here tonight, and it hasn't been a highlight film so far. 31-7. This is 4th down and 11 from the 33. Ellis with time to throw, and he overthrew a man who was in double coverage, and Ellis was pounded, although there is a flag behind the play, and Ellis is still down.
That's going to be holding against Virginia, and they'll let it go.
Holding, offense, the penalty will be declined. First down.
Steve, we've had a chance to look at some pretty good defenses up to this point, but certainly this is the best one that I've seen. They stunt, they move, they do all sorts of things to get to the quarterback right there at the end of the play.
Getting a bit nippy here in Charlottesville. We started at 76 degrees, and we've dropped into the low 50s here. So it won't bother Michael Vick and Virginia Tech all that much. Chiron Stiff on the carry. Football might be loose there.
Virginia Tech got it back, though.
And Tech has recovered. What about the starting backfield? Still in the game. Here's Holly Rowe.
Michael Vick came out after his ankle was stepped on, and as he sat on the sidelines with the headphones on, Dave Meyer, the backup, came over and sat next to him. He tried to get on the headphones thinking, hey, this is the perfect time for me to go in. But Vick wouldn't give up the headphones. Then 3 different assistant coaches came over to see how he was, and he told everybody to leave him alone. I'm fine. Then he had to talk the doctor into letting him back in. This kid just doesn't want to go out.
All right, Holly, thank you. Can appreciate that, right, Todd?
Actually, I can't. You know, no, what I mean by that is discretion is the better part of valor.
Right.
I mean, this game is in the books. They're going to win. Why do you want to take any chances with the guy who every one of the coaches last night told us this is the franchise? This is the guy.
Is there any message to be sent by Vick to his teammates showing, hey, I don't care what the score is. I want to be in there with you? Is there any positive that comes out of that?
Yeah, the message is that the inmates are running the asylum. Attica, Attica.
3rd and 5. You look at the numbers on Vick, who has been outstanding, both with the arm and with his feet. 3rd and 6 from the 37. They just get the playoff. Here's Vick. He slips down again. You have to wonder about the ankle. And now he is knocked down before he got out of bounds. And the clock will continue to run. Darnell Hollier got him that time.
Again, why subject him to this at this point?
No, I don't get it either.
No, this is the point where Frank Beamer's got to come over and say, sit down. You know, that's enough.
We appreciate your toughness. What do you want to do for the team? Now sit down and take off your helmet.
Yeah, but we've got a number of games to go, and we want you to play in those games.
As he hobbles off the field again. Tech up next at Rutgers. You'd have to like their chances there as well. Punt situation with Arlen Harris deep for Virginia. Jimmy Kibble will get it away. Fair catch is signaled for it. He couldn't come up with it. Some contact there.
Halo rule again, yet again, right?
Did not give him enough breathing room to make the fair catch. If in fact it is the halo call.
As if you didn't, come on, as if you didn't know.
I was just prepared just in case. Went the other way.
This is one of the things in college football that's got to change.
5-yard, fair catch interference. If it's a kicking team, 5 yards, you spotted a foul, 1st down.
.738 left here in Charlottesville. It's all Virginia Tech, number 7, and looking to move up. Well, Virginia Tech's first road test of the season is going rather nicely. Up 31-7 as we approach the final 7.5 to play here at Scott Stadium, where a record crowd was expected, better than 50,000. Many to be disappointed thanks to plays like that. Arlen Harris on the carry. David Pugh, the big stick in the Virginia backfield.
So welcome to the game. How does that feel? Stith, of course, with the 3 touchdowns, 78 yards rushing. Vick, as we pointed out, most of those yards in the first half. And, of course, the total yards, this is really a surprise because, as we pointed out, Virginia Tech is known to do it with defense and special teams, but tonight all 3 have been working effectively. You know, at the end of the game, you say you want to win 2 out of 3 special teams, offense, defense, whatever. Virginia Tech has won in every aspect of this game.
2nd and 10 from the 33. Ellis is still in the game, though Thomas Jones has left. Some starters, some backups. That ball looked like it was tipped away. They were looking to hit Billy McMullen, and we hit Reese Davis. There was a lot of talk, Todd, the scheduling for this game, traditionally a November game, now pushed up here in October. Any sympathy for Virginia to go on the road, the long trip, BYU, come back here and have to play their arch rival, their toughest test, as opposed to, say, a Buffalo would have slipped in nicely here in the schedule for them? Ellis, the throw. It's complete. Well shy of the 1st down.
Well, in answer to your question, you know, so many times the schedules are made a long way in advance, but of course the placing of them is a significant situation. You see the remaining schedule for Virginia, only 2 games on the road. They catch Florida State and Georgia Tech at home, but certainly those are going to be difficult. The question, of course, at the beginning of the season here in Seville, because I want to be cool, as you mentioned, is whether or not they would continue their string of 7-win seasons. Even with this defeat tonight, I still think they've got a shot at it.
1st and 10 from the 44 now. Ellis rolling to his right, threw across his body. They call it a catch? Yes, they do. Completed pass to Billy McMullen. Anthony Midget on the stop there. Told you Tech's first road game of the season. After having the first 3 at home, will they pay for it down the stretch? 4 of their next 5 will come on the road.
But they've been very effective on the road. 19 of the last 26 road games they have won. And so they're not one of those teams that's completely dependent upon emotion or a home crowd for success.
Under 6 to go now. Brings up a 2nd and 2 from the 47. They'll give it to Harris. Try to split through a couple of defenders. Not much there. Ike Charlton brought him down along with Ben Taylor. Here's Holly.
Gentlemen, Anthony Midget, number 9 for Virginia Tech, was the defensive back that gave up last year's game-winning play to Virginia. He said it hurt so bad he hasn't even looked at the videotape until this week. But he has been the biggest cheerleader on the Tech sidelines. After every offensive and defensive position, he goes over to every starter and says, don't let up, keep it up. He has definitely been wanting redemption here tonight.
The throw is complete to Mason out of the flat.
Came with a blitz, and Sorensen, the free safety, makes a great open field tackle, because if he doesn't, there's nobody left. Sorensen, you remember, was the emergency quarterback last year when Al Clark and everybody else went down. And of course now as the free safety, he is the...
You could say, I guess he's the quarterback of the secondary.
Hey, good thought.
Todd called me like on Tuesday and said, hey, I've got this great line for you.
Nah,
Make sure we get it in on Saturday.
Come on, it was Thursday.
And I've been holding it all week. Under 5 to go on a 2nd and 8 from the 42 now. Under pressure, ball is knocked away and falls harmlessly down to the turf. Corey Moore had the pressure there.
That's a good call by the referee, John Smith. Indeed, his arm was going forward. Now, if you're at home, you might be asking yourself the question, hey, Todd, you mentioned the thing about Vick. Why is Dan Ellis still in the game when the thing seems to be out of hand? Well, the difference in this case is that Dan Ellis has had very few repetitions at all in terms of game experience. Here comes Corey Moore, and from the backside you can see, boy, I tell you, he'll be in the tub. I'm going to tell you that right now. He'll be in the tub this weekend.
Engelberger got him as well. Ellis 16 of 25. 162 yards, but under constant pressure. Back here in Charlottesville, 4:42 to go. We're just talking amongst ourselves about Corey Moore and his performance here tonight. Staying out on the field, the throw for Ellis, and the receiver McMullen went up to get it, and that time could not bring it down.
Anthony Midget must have heard Holly's report and wanted to style for her. He's in front, but Midget's able to come up and strip the hand of McMillan and make it go to the ground. I'm thinking that at this point, I don't keep track of such things in my head, but we've called his name a lot. He's got to have about 4 or 5 pass breakups.
He has been excellent, and there are many excellent players on that defense for Tech here tonight, holding Virginia to 7 points to this point. Ricky Hall is deep to receive the punt from Donnie Scott. Fair catch. No halo problems there. And Tech will take over with 4:25 left and look to milk the rest of the clock. Our Prestone players of the game, after extensive voting, there are your winners.
Extensive voting. Well, of course, Vick did almost all of that damage in the first half, and Shannon Taylor has been the best defender for Virginia over the last 3 games. Rick Lance, the defensive coordinator, told me that that young man has as much or more natural talent than James Ferrier and James Sharper, both players that now currently do ply their wares at the NFL.
See who's under center for Virginia Tech to start this series? It is Michael Vick, the quarterback. Surprise, surprise, with 4:25 left here in the 4th quarter. Give to Stith again. You know, you could make not just for Vick, Chiron Stith is still in the game as well. Maybe it's philosophy.
I'll take a look at the ankle. It's taped quite high. They're trying to protect it. And I just, again, it's difficult to understand as to why he's still in there, other than the fact that, you know, there's some sort of badge of honor, or, you know, maybe he's the Kurt Schilling of quarterbacks. He feels like he has to finish.
Stith averaging 5 yards per carry. Earlier in the game, he had already scored 3 touchdowns and was averaging less than 2 yards per carry. That's efficient running. Good carry to Stiff. Not much there. Virginia defense, no quit, no give when you're playing your arch rival. Well, arguably the biggest win in Virginia Tech school history so far, we'll say. The '95 Sugar Bowl. Tech leads 10-0 in the second quarter. Byron Still, it's those Tech special teams. He returns a punt 60 yards for a touchdown. And then Tech leading 14-10 in the fourth. Still this time a 54-yard touchdown catch from Jim Druckenmiller. Tech went on to win 28-10, and that is, again, arguably the biggest victory in Virginia Tech history. We say so far, the way this season is unfolding, might be a bigger victory out there for them.
Certainly. Certainly. We saw the remaining schedule. They're certainly capable of running the table. But from week to week, you just don't know. I mean, Virginia coming into this game had momentum, a big road victory against 19th ranked BYU at Provo. You thought they had a lot of things going for them coming into this game, but instead it has been all Hokies this evening, and that man Frank Beamer has done a tremendous job in Blacksburg.
2nd and 5 from the 30. Vick will take his time with the clock running, and why not? Get the play clock down to 2 and get the snap off. And they will run with Chiron Stiff. Battle on the stop for Virginia.
Boo?
That's right. They've been waiting for that one, too.
I have.
Are getting it all in here tonight.
Boo Battle. Oh, that's a great name for sports.
Birth certificate doesn't say Boo, it says Devon.
Well, that's not the point. The point is that, you know, if he becomes heroic, it makes great headlines, you know. Battle fights his way to victory.
Oh, yes.
You know, Battle's conflagration leads Cavaliers to win. You know,
the Commonwealth Cup.
There you go. All that stuff.
In-state rivalry. $1:40 to play here in the fourth. 31-7. There will be no heroic comeback this time by Virginia. Virginia's offense has all but disappeared, and the competition has a lot to do with it. They had scored 80 points in their previous 2 weeks against Wake and against BYU, only getting 7 points here tonight against the top-rated defense in the nation. They'll give it to Chiron Stiff, and he'll go over 100 yards for the football game. Give him 107 or so on his 22nd carry of the night.
That's 4 straight 100-yard games. I think that ties a record that I think Oxendine had.
But he is the first Tech player to do it in the first 4 games of a season.
Before November and before the full moon, before the time change. What is that?
Well, as opposed to he's already into the action, middle of the season.
All right, okay.
You know, from the start of the season, a little tricky to get the wheels going. Final half minute. First down for Tech. And that should wrap this puppy up.
Well, Frank Beamer is certainly the man. He has just done a tremendous job with this program. And if anybody thought that a team from Blacksburg couldn't compete for the national championship, they are very much mistaken. This is a team to be reckoned with. The top defense in the nation, arguably the top player in Corey Moore. Michael Vick, a tremendous quarterback. They've got a big future. Speaking of Michael Vick, he's standing by with our Holly Rowe.
Michael, you're from the state of Virginia. How much does it mean to win this game in your freshman season?
It feels very good. This is a big win for Virginia Tech. You know, they came down there last year and they beat us back at home, and we just wanted to come down here and get this win so bad. You know, it feels so good.
You have your ankle, you're hobbling a little bit. Why wouldn't you come out of this game and take a break?
No, I can't. I had my ankle in the first game, and, you know, I just didn't want to come out this game. I was going to fight it out, you know, no matter what I had to go through. I wasn't coming out.
The fans in the end zone before the game were giving you some grief, talking about Hampton High School and so forth. How much did that fire you up today?
Oh, it just got my blood boiling, you know. It fired me up, you know. That's why I came out and threw my first touchdown, you know, and I pointed to fans over there. So, you know, it made me feel real good, and, you know, it's just a great win.
I don't know if you know this, but Florida lost tonight. Any thoughts on that?
Hey, we'll just move up in the rankings.
All right, thanks very much, Michael Vick.
Pretty cool and calm for a redshirt freshman. Holly, thank you. Virginia had won 2 in a row in this rivalry, but matchup number 81 belongs to Virginia Tech.